Never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I have? It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
So, welcome to
Kessel Run Weekly.
My name is Danny.
I'm Heather.
All right, guys. And so, if you don't already know, we are talking The Force Awakens by Alan Dean Foster. We are going chapters 11 through 15 because Danny can math. I didn't mess this one up this time.
Nope.
So 11 through 15, even though I almost pushed to 16 just because it was that good. I almost did it. But I knew that I would talk about it.
so mad.
Right?
Anthony Williams says Thrawn was amazing.
Yes, it was. It was very amazing. I completely agree with that, Anthony.
And we went through the whole book in our series,
yes.
Thrawn, our Holocron Book Club series last time, so...
Absolutely. So, in shameless plug real quick, guys, if you want to see any of our previous Holocron Book Clubs or anything like that, we are on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, just about everywhere. And we're all over social media. I can't talk. All over social media at Kessel Run Weekly. And so you can check out all of our stuff that we've already got up and everything, our previous book clubs, if you want to join us in on those. But yeah. So let's go ahead and dive in because I'm really excited.
I'm really excited. These were awesome chapters. I've been waiting for like 3 days for this. I've been trying to tell you, read.
I'm the underachiever, and you're the one that already finished. So, because if I finish too early, I feel like I'm gonna forget something. It's just an irrational fear of mine. It's never actually happened, but I mean, hey. So with these chapters, so we start off at the scene that we are all familiar with in the movie, where the Millennium Falcon finally makes it to Takodana, the place of Maz Kanata and all this other kind of stuff. The book even relives the whole, I've never seen this much green in the galaxy, all that kind of stuff, and it's really touching. And we get a lot more of Father Han, I feel like.
We do. We do. My chair, I'm going to have to oil it. I thought it was kind of, sweet in a way, but I don't get Father Han. I get friend, and she may see him as a father figure, but I feel like I don't know, if I were him, I wouldn't just be so quick to replace.
Well, and you got to think, though, that he's hurting.
He
lost his son.
He's lost his son. And
not necessarily that he's trying to, fill a void or anything. But, I mean, it's almost as if that kind of naturally felt... To me, it kind of felt like it was naturally filling. Where he was teaching her how to use the gun. Right. And, hey, if you want to come along, you can kind of, because my son's not here.
Right.
Kind of thing. And, I mean, it's something that him and Leia, they're hurting a lot. And I feel like with them... Leia at this point hasn't really gotten to Rey or anything. I mean, kind of, not really. No.
No, not yet.
No, they haven't met yet. It was, it was Han and everything. So Rey at this point has been kidnapped.
Yes.
So yeah. And more on that. But, so I mean, as far as with Han and everything, I felt like it was him kind of inadvertently filling a void of that child that he misses, that son that he kind of never had, almost. So, I mean, he had been, but there's definitely some turmoil there of some kind. But I don't know. I kind of felt like it was of a fatherly kind of thing for it.
Very cool. I just, later, whenever he's talking to Leia about Ben, there was just too much Vader in him. I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that because that's nature versus nurture there. And I truly feel that maybe if you hadn't sent him off with his uncle...
Weird Uncle Luke.
to be away from you, and, that's really what he wanted, was to be with you. So, but I haven't gotten to read all of the pre-Force Awakens canon.
Oh, no.
Yes.
You need to do that, though.
And I would love to be able to do that. I need to, if anybody knows which magazine that's in, let me know. Because I know it's in one of the magazines. But I feel like if he is taking her on kind of as a fatherly role. He's already saying, Ben's gone, there's nothing we can do, and I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah. So why are you disappointed?
Because it's like he's got a kid and that he's pretty much given up on.
I mean, I got that feeling too, that he had pretty much given up on him. I mean, like, even Leia goes so far as to, like, he's our son.
He's
like, it's
your his father,
Yeah, we're still in this, guys.
Suck it up, big man.
The dark side doesn't mean that he's lost genetics or anything.
Yeah. So
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was just kind of disappointed. But, I mean, it's Han. He's Han.
Well, and I always feel like Han's always been kind of the survivor type,
right?
And the way he acts with Rey, I feel like almost kind of mirrors that, because I mean, and it's not necessarily him trying to necessarily survive anything, but it's fatherhood, and it's something that he failed at, and so he's trying to find a way to. I mean, I don't think it's on purpose, but at the same time, I feel like he's found something that he can try to make right. If that makes any sense.
It does. It does.
Where she's there now, and it's, I couldn't help my son, I'm going to help you. And kind of projecting to that. And so that's the kind of feeling that I'd gotten on that for sure. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So, Finn.
Yes.
How are you feeling about Finn? We're
yeah,
really into it now.
I like him better. He's still not really a favorite of mine. I mean, and he wasn't in the movie either.
Right.
But at the same time, I like the depth that the book is giving him, because he seems more human than anything. You're getting little glimpses, not really into his past, but where he's come from, as far as like his training and things like that, where it was just mentioned in passing in the movie. It's actually like, hey, look, he has hand-to-hand, he has a blaster training. I mean, like, listing the things that he knows and that he's done and things that he can't comprehend because he doesn't know them, and things like that. Like, it's really cool seeing that insight.
He is one of my favorite characters, just because I would love to see someone that's been indoctrinated into this life, fully, and then to be able to break away and how they would climatize kind of to the new environment. But I had the one scene that I had that really was fun for me was the eating scene.
Oh yeah.
Because Finn is hungry. They're all hungry. And then Rey is just scarfing the food down. And it makes you, after reading that particular bit and then seeing her vision, I'd probably see things after I had indigestion that bad too.
Who knows what she ate?
Yeah, it's like she was like a little puppy that hadn't been fed long enough, so just doesn't know when to stop.
Absolutely. And I actually want to talk about that vision with you, because we got a little, actually not a little bit more, a lot more than what we got in the movie, like direct descriptions, which was really exciting. So she ends up at for those of you who aren't sure or whatnot, so we're talking about the Force Bats is what they've been called, where Rey finds Luke's lightsaber, and then immediately she's catapulted into like all these different scenarios all at once, and it's just like the life of the saber kind of thing, or just everything that's been going on. But in the book, what's really cool is, so like in the movie, we see her in some kind of hallway. If you look close enough, it kind of does have an Imperial kind of look to it. But with it in the book, they name it as Cloud City. And she can actually hear the fighting and stuff going on overhead, two people fighting back and forth, which is really cool, because that means that she got to see Luke and Vader go at it.
Yes.
Which is interesting. So, and I know, I think we had talked about this at one point about, I think it was the lightsaber theory or something like that that I had heard of, about that the reason that she was seeing this was because that was where the lightsaber rested. My big question, though, is who was the kid?
I don't know. I wonder about that. And
because in the book it said that there was a little boy at the end of the hallway. So was it Luke? Was it Ben?
I don't know.
Was it Finn? I don't know.
It might have been Finn. No, I don't know.
Probably Jar Jar.
Jar Jar. I don't know.
So Star Wars theorist, tinfoil hat. What would be your best guess as to who it might be?
Ben.
Ben? Mm-hmm. I could see that. Because there also another thing as a part of that. I mean, like Kylo seems to have a lot more insight into Rey, almost expecting her, which is really. And he calls her out a couple of times, but we'll get to that. But I mean, he seems to have a real insight into somebody who was promised to come, is what it feels like.
Yes.
Like he's seen her before. He knows of her. Something's going on there, I think.
Well, I know, like, the Renlo theory, or whatever people call it.
Raylo.
Raylo, or...
Yeah.
But, I feel that his is more... I hate to say sibling, just because I know that's my personal theory. But, it's almost like... maybe kind of a sibling thing. Mm-hmm. Not really a romantic necessarily.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't get that.
I didn't get that, but I do get that with her and Finn more in the book than I did.
Oh yeah,
in the movie. But yeah.
So and then with the visions and everything, so we've got the little boy at the end of the hallway, and then it propels her to the Knights of Ren, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, it literally it goes through everything else that we got to see. The big thing, though, I thought, I mean, and I know it sounds kind of silly, but I thought that the biggest thing of that I wish we would have saw in the movie, which I guess I can understand why maybe that couldn't have been in there. But I mean, the boy, I want to know more about the boy. I want to know why he was there and what was going on. I
wish they would have described him more.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I'm sure that's for a purpose. I'm sure there's a reason why. Which drives me insane, but at the same time, I mean, I'm excited to learn more about that because I wonder if that will come up in The Last Jedi or something, because I know that that's supposed to be like the more ambiguous Force where we'll really get to see what's happening and everything.
Right.
I've got a few theories, but that's another show. This is the Force Awakens, guys. So we had the visions and everything. And then Kylo...
I want to talk about one thing.
Sure.
Chewie ripped off somebody's arm, finally.
Yes! That was a deleted scene.
I know! I found that out today. One of the people I was talking to today was like, they filmed that, and it was considered too violent, so they took it out. But I was like, I was so excited. I messaged you immediately. It's like, you need to read.
Right. I was excited that made it in the book because I was bummed that it wasn't a deleted scene. I mean, even just like a passing something. Right. I mean, we've seen arms fall to the ground before. Yeah. I mean, the part where his arm launched across the table or across the room and landed on somebody's poker table. Right. I mean, we could have gone with that. Right. But I mean, it made sense that Unkar would have been tracking her. I mean, he's not, being who he is, there's no way he's going to let the Falcon just, cut my losses.
And BB-8, and the fact that she disrespected him in front of all of his scavengers. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. So, yeah. So, I mean, he's definitely got a vendetta. Now he's 2 arms short. So,
if he didn't bleed out.
That's true. If he didn't bleed out. If he made it. So, yeah. No, that was awesome. I love seeing Chewie in action. Like, that was one of my favorite parts of Force Awakens just in general was Chewie. Because the whole time, I mean, obviously there were the rumors that Chewie was going to die because he does in the EU and all that kind of stuff. And, like, when he got shot with the Rathtars and everything, I thought he was gone. I was like, no, don't take Chewbacca. No, they just took the other one that hurt even worse. But
well, at least the planet didn't fall on him.
That's true. But yeah, so I mean, Chewie in action's been really, really cool, for sure. I love that they still had the Maz's "Where's My Boyfriend." I want to know more about that relationship. I think that would be definitely something very interesting to find out.
I love Maz. I really do.
And I feel like you get to know her a lot more in the book.
You do.
She speaks a lot more as well.
She's like, I've seen empires rise and fall, and I want to know more about her. I want a Maz book is what I want.
There you go. We actually got a comment just a second ago. Timothy McMahon says, Chewie will outlive us all.
Yes!
I'm down. Let's do this. Wookiee forever. That's going to be a shirt or something. So
we'll
cool.
put it next to my, I do all my own stunts.
Right, there you go. So in moving forward from that, so I mean, Maz was really cool in this whole thing. And I love how she was like, I'm no Jedi, which I mean, she touched on that a little bit in Force Awakens. But I want to know her relationship with the Force. Because other than Chirrut Imwe, we really don't see Force wielders. Or even acknowledgers, to be honest, because for the most part, it's the empty. Well, may the Force be with you. May the Force be with you, because you're going into battle and you're probably going to die. Kind of things like that. So, I mean, I would like to see her relationship with the Force, how that came about, how she knows about it, and why she believes in it.
That's very true. I would love.
Yeah.
To, I mean, if you've lived that long through the Sith, you know, uprising and falling, and you know, I can imagine that you'd finally believe it. I mean, Han believes it, and because he's witnessed it.
Exactly.
So, I think Maz has just lived long enough to know better.
I think so.
Still too young to care.
There you go.
I didn't sing it though.
I am interested to see if more is going to come of her in Last Jedi. Seeing is that we've kind of left her realm. Maybe she was just a character for Force Awakens. I hope not, though, because I'm with you. I would be down with the Maz book.
I would be down with the Maz book.
Or something. Short story, anything. Give me Maz, because Maz is awesome.
Maz is awesome. I love the way they described her. You know, she made her own boots and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even down to the part where she crawls across the table to get in Finn's face.
Yeah.
And her eyes got bigger than I ever thought that they could. But yes, that was awesome. So, moving forward from that, so, I mean, we know in the movie we've got the huge assault of the First Order. Now we have Starkiller Base, actually, I think was first. Yes, before Kylo showed up. So, all of Starkiller Base. So, you actually were excited about that.
I am excited about Starkiller Base because it's so impractical in the movie. Anything with that much mass is going to throw off gravitational pulls. And anyway, so in the book, it's actually a stationary thing that has manipulated time-space or space-time in order to shoot across the galaxy instantaneously, which they don't go into the science of it, thank goodness.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. And I think that they, you know, they covered, it's timey-wimey. Well, that's wrong. Fandom. Oops.
That's okay. We can forgive you this once. No, I'm just teasing. No, but that's actually exactly what I thought of. The second that they were like, well, it uses space-time.
It uses
I was
space-time.
like, the Doctor. No. But yeah, no, I thought that was cool seeing that explanation, though, because in the movie, I mean, obviously we just get Death Star 3. That's exactly what it comes across as. But with this, I mean, there's a different science to it. And then on top of that, too, showing that it affected the troopers there. Because in the movie, they were all stoic, like they weren't moving, they were good. In the book, it's knocking them over. They're trying to shield their eyes, even with their helmets on.
Well, I love that this was a planet that had been hollowed out. They did not build this freeform structure. I mean, they literally bore into the planet, and you know, they used the magnetic field of the planet to contain the dark matter. I mean, they covered it enough for me.
Right, exactly.
Enough
to make it plausible.
Enough to make it fun, at least. Am I going to hold out for the plans? No. But I thought it was really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love the explanation to it. It made it more sinister to me. because it made it seem like a lot more thought went into it instead of just going, hey guys, the first 2 Death Stars, we're going to make it bigger this time.
We're going to make a planet one this time.
Right. Planet that shoots laser and go. But I like that there was a lot more science behind it. I mean, as much as there can be in Star Wars.
Right.
But I mean, it was cool. The space-time thing still trips me out, though. Because, I'm just trying to imagine that, and I'm just like, I don't know. It weirds me out, but it's cool, though.
So warping. Well, they didn't use warping, but
yeah,
you have to... Einstein... Never mind.
And this week... No, I'm just kidding.
That's in that book.
See, there you go. So we'll just pull a random book off the shelf and just go to town. Now another cool perspective was that we actually got a perspective of the planet that it hit in the Hosnian system. I don't remember exactly the name or anything like that. I know it was the center of the Republic.
I don't remember the name either, but yeah.
I'm not sure if they said the name or not. But I mean, it was cool getting that perspective. I mean, we got where they were looking at it in the movie. We got that much, but hearing how it hit the the planet core, past the magma, and all just the crust and everything. Like, it was really cool hearing how that impacted, and the way they described that beam as something that was seeking out something that could basically contain it.
Right.
And that planet was what kept it from just completely going further and taking out more.
Well, into it would go full on through the galaxy until it hit something that could, like you said, contain it. Right. And it would radiate out and destroy entire systems. But I also liked that they didn't drain a star.
Oh, yeah, the draining the sun.
Draining a star in order to shoot. And it's like dark matter's everywhere. I mean, it's one of the most abundant things. If you could harness it, you really don't have to worry about draining a star.
Yeah, I liked how they described Starkiller much more than how it was portrayed in the movie.
It was really bad. Like, bad.
Yeah, it was really cool. So that was a plus to the book. So far the book seems to be winning, but who's keeping score?
Well, I think that, like I said, it's a supplement. You can't, one is not better than the other, maybe. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose the book, but that's just because I'm not a big TV watcher.
Other than Rebels and, that kind of stuff. I
mean, that even took a while for me to Doctor Who but for the most part,
you're there now.
Yes.
So we had the unfortunate death of the Hosnian system, and then Kylo shows up on Takodana to retrieve his plans, or not his plans, his Master Skywalker. Yes. So one thing that was peculiar in that exchange that did not make it into the movie to me is that it seemed almost as if Kylo was trying to paint Rey out to be the bad guy.
I really like that.
I did too, because I feel like it gave a lot more dimension to his character, especially when she just like in the movie, she raises the gun, she tries to shoot, and she can't fire it, or it doesn't fire rather, and she's frozen. And he's like, "You were willing to shoot me, and you don't even know me." And kind of stuff. I was like, okay.
Well, it does. The safety was on at first, and then she turned it off, and she did shoot several times, and he.
Right.
So he's like, I was forced to defend myself. Who's the terrorist here?
Exactly.
And, yeah, I really like that because it's true. She did. Now, granted, this is someone in her vision.
Right.
But I feel he's kind of right in a way. He didn't, come at her.
He wasn't the aggressor, technically.
No, he wasn't the aggressor in this instance.
Right.
But I'd probably be scared too if, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hooded mask guy comes at me with a lightsaber.
That came off of the First Order ships and everything.
Right. I mean, it's an intense scene, and I love the way that the book describes it and everything. It's just the dialogue that they're choosing for Kylo in the book, just as a whole so far, has been really interesting. It's keeping him away from being the cookie cutter villain, and
he's
really
less
painting
emo
him as a person. Yes, he is less emo.
He's less emo and more volatile, yet he's searching. He's
right.
He's
introspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. He laid off the Fallout Boy.
Yes. The Lincoln Park.
Yes.
But I liked where he's talking to Vader's mask.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't feel the need to bring any fear into, cause fear or be intimidating. He just can be who he wants to be at that moment. Flawed and broken a little bit. And so I liked the way they described that. And
I know I keep kind of relaying it to The Last Jedi and everything. I feel like that's going to come into play. It's got to. Because otherwise there's no reason to show all of these human moments for Kylo, and just really diving deep into his character, because everything that we've seen so far has given more dimension, more depth to his character, and at the same time though, it's just kind of, I don't know, like I want to know more about him now. Like, I was disappointed by emo Ben in the movie and everything. When he took off his helmet, I was just kind of like,
in the book, when he took off his helmet, I thought it was the way they described, the fair and slender, and you're like, he really is. He's just kind of a kid. I know he's not, but
it keeps painting him as human. That's the biggest thing that I've been noticing, is that it's showing him that he's just human.
And I know a lot of people are like, well, if you're Kylo Ren, you should have scars, and and I feel like some scars you can't see,
Mm-hmm. That's true. Definitely. He's got a lot going on. I can't necessarily say that his hurt is not warranted one way or the other. It was enough to kill his dad. So, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It's just this Kylo Ren in the book is way more interesting to me than the Kylo Ren that ended up on screen.
Yeah, but one thing you can notice is when you're done reading this, you can watch the movie again and you still get all of this, and you can enjoy the movie that much more.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Because I promise you,
knowing what I know,
reading the book is not going to ruin the movie for you, because it's just going to reinforce it. Once you watch it again, you're going to go, and then you'll have all those little back things in your brain. Like I said, when we were watching that movie the other day, it's like, bam, and then bam.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
And now, talking about him, we were talking about him removing his helmet, things like that. So that scene where he dives into Rey's mind, that was interesting.
Yes, it was.
So apparently there's a barrier in her mind that he couldn't quite get past, and then all of a sudden she's in his head.
She was sitting there and she's like trying to figure out how she can possibly get this guy out of her head, and she's doing every physical and mental thing that she can, and then all of a sudden, the way I felt it was, she stopped and she finally, instead of looking away like every instinct in her told her to do, she stared straight into his eyes, and that's when it clicked.
Oh yeah, went toe for toe.
But not just toe for toe, she overtook him.
She did overtake him. And I thought that was interesting, though, because, obviously we don't get really details as to what happens other than what we see on screen. But I want to know about that barrier, because I've heard different theories about Rey and everything, about how maybe she was, or maybe her mind was wiped or something like that, or memories erased, or something in the Force to make her not know who she is. But the thing is we don't know that she doesn't know who she is. We just know that she hasn't told us. is how I feel like that more so goes. But I wonder if maybe she put up the barrier, or if this was something done to whoever left her on Jakku. or done by whoever left her on Jakku?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought of that. I assumed that the barrier was caused by the Force, her inexplicable ability to use the Force with no training and no, previous even...
Just, predisposition to it.
She just, by the way, drop your gun too. She shoots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting that they made the decision in the movie to make it fail the first time, and then the second time it worked, whereas in the book it was just like, give me your gun. Like, she's like, it's gonna work, there's no fail in this. So I thought that was an interesting choice too, which I guess it kind of, putting that in the movie, it kind of makes it seem like she, or kind of reinforces that she still is inexperienced. I could see that a little.
Kind of.
I mean, it doesn't do much, but I mean, at the same time, it's her trying. But I want to know how she even knew to do that. That's still
right. Legend is supposed to say that you can tell people, that you get Force suggestion on people.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's in the stories that she heard of Luke Skywalker.
Maybe
she heard something maybe he did. But I don't know. Like, it's just, I want to know how she knew to do these things. Maybe the Force was speaking to her. Maybe she's something else that we don't understand quite. Because I've heard the whole thing about her being, and I know it's kind of ridiculous. I still feel like it's ridiculous, but her being almost Anakin reincarnated, the other chosen one.
Plagueis baby.
Plagueis baby. So, I mean, I don't know if it was like a different life. I don't know. It's getting weird. But anyways. So, and then we end up, I'm trying to think if I've missed anything yet.
Not yet. I mean, we keep skipping around like crazy because we're all excited, but...
I actually just thought of something that, I am skipping around quite a bit.
I told you, we're skipping around like crazy.
So Leia, I love how it actually confirmed that she felt it in the Force when the Hosnian system was hit. That was cool, because I don't feel like they've ever said that in canon before, that she, for sure, was strong in the Force.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's been hinted at, and it's kind of inadvertently understood, I think. But for that to confirm that she felt all of those voices cry out, it reminded me of Obi-Wan.
Right. It makes me, because I'm reading A New Hope soon. I'm trying. I've got like 3 books going right now. But A New Hope...
I don't know how you do it.
A New Hope is like, I'm looking forward to seeing Win Alderaan and see if she has any thing that could be Force related, or if it's just, I just watched my planet die.
Yeah.
See if they have anything in there like that. But I also liked that they confirmed her Force sensitivity. And the Jedi Code, the book you got me for my birthday, says about that,
Oh, really?
And there's a big thing, not about Leia, but you have to be careful, because if there are a lot of souls dying at once, it can be very jarring. It could even knock you out.
Oh, wow.
It's a very violent thing that happens to you as a Jedi. And just as a funny, Sidious has his little note on the side, a shock that I relish in giving, or something like that.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Always full of himself.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool, because, I mean, I wonder if we'll see more of that. I mean, I doubt it, just because, I mean, with The Last Jedi and everything, I don't know how they're doing. Carrie Fisher's exit, I don't even want to think about it. It hurts to think about.
I think that she's kind of... I'm waiting to watch to read Bloodline. I'm hoping to read Bloodline soon, so that I can get more into her character. But as far as I know, I would love to know more about her, but I think she chose not to go the Force direction.
Yeah.
So she decided to do more of the, actual leading the rebellion and the resistance and the New Republic and all of that.
All of that.
All of it.
Well, and I think it's cool though in this new canon that, and even extending out into the animated series, things like that, that we're seeing a lot more characters that are just like in tune with the Force, that acknowledge its existence and know how to access it, but not necessarily wielders or of any kind or anything like that. Like Chirrut Îmwe, he wasn't a Force wielder per se. He just trusted in the Force, and the Force guided him. Maz, we don't know to the extent of what she knows of the Force, but hers seems to be similar from what we know. And then even Leia, the same thing. They know how to access the Force, but it's not as a weapon to wield, which I find very interesting.
I still think that it's accessible by everyone, and they just have to understand how to use it as a tool instead of, that's the balance
just
thing.
A blunt instrument. Yeah.
Right.
I think so too. I mean, and the more that we're seeing that, the more I feel that way as well. Because even segueing into like Star Wars Rebels with Kanan when he went blind, that's what he had to do, is learn how to use the Force other than a weapon, other than something to cause him advantage. It ended up being something that he was going to have in order to survive. And it ended up changing it altogether. And so I'm interested to see that play out in the next movie, really in the remaining trilogy, to see what they're going to do with that. Because with Rian Johnson being at the helm of Last Jedi, a lot of that, I feel they're kind of venturing into the weird and unknown, I think, especially with your favorite porgs being Force sensitive and the turtle nuns on Octu and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff, I think, that are going to be really interesting in it. But I like how they're portraying the Force with this new canon. It's very interesting.
It is. I love it. There was a moment when Han had his moment of every movie. He's got a moment where he does something that's just wild and crazy. And so he's going to light speed into the force field, the shield. And he's, and he realizes that should have been easier. Well, I mean, it was kind of a poignant moment because, everybody's patting him on the back. Anybody would have said, that was amazing. I can't believe we did that. Yeah, we crashed, but we're here. We're alive. And all Han could think of was, I'm getting really old.
Yeah. Okay, so I took it that way, too, because when he was like, oh, that should have been easier, I was just kind of like, well, why should it? Okay.
That's how I felt it was. Is he was realizing that age had kind of snuck up on him and kind of giving himself a hard time about it.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean,
he won't have to
scoundrel. So
yeah, he's not going to have to worry about it for very much longer, though. I don't think.
Womp womp. That's coming. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of, because I think those were the main things that I was wanting to talk about with you that I got really, really excited about. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover?
Okay. Hux.
Okay.
I know this is even going back to where, they're shooting from the Starkiller Base. But he goes through this whole speech of they're going to bring justice and everything back to the galaxy. And I just, it brings back that these people really truly believe that this is peace.
Right.
Iron stick, or,
Yeah.
So, and
it's scary.
Yeah, it's really scary that they have the power to do it, too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually, it reminds me of a something. And I'm sure it's not a quote just from the show because I think I've heard it before. But my wife and I have been watching The Defenders. Don't worry, no spoilers. But at one point, one of the characters makes mention. I'm trying to remember exactly how it is, but it's in order for there to be war, both sides need to believe that they're right, or that they're good, or something like that. And that's what it reminded me of as soon as I read that, because they truly do believe that they are bringing order and peace and all this other kind of stuff, but it's tyrannical and like it's awful. But the way that they see order and peace is total control. Whereas the Republic is more free and things like that. But it's just it's scary thinking about seeing like how he really believes, because we get that speech in the actual movie.
Yes.
So it's not anything new there, but just kind of getting that insight that the book gives on Hux as his character and things like that, it's jarring. And it really kind of set in the present danger for me as the First Order. Because when I watched the movie, it was all, oh yeah, well that's the replacement empire. That's exactly how it made me feel. But in the book, it really is starting to drive that home and give that more depth as well.
Well, it was like Thrawn explained. Once the empire is gone, there's a power vacuum, and so they have had to build up the First Order stuff, and they're here now, and they kind of did it.
Oh yeah,
and they're doing it well. Oh
yeah, scary well. and even well, no, that's another show. Never mind.
Another show.
I don't want to get too far ahead in the book because I know I've already jumped ahead in the movie a couple times. But
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, overall, I mean, I'm still really enjoying the book for sure. I absolutely have been loving all of this. Like, I never thought I would be so like just caught up in a story that I already technically know. Never thought that could happen.
The love story between Han and Leia.
Yes. That was awesome.
The dynamic between them after not seeing each other for that long. And, man, because you realize why he left. I mean, you knew he left, but you thought it was because he couldn't stand to be away from his smuggling life. And, this kind of insinuates that it's because of what happened with the kid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he didn't want to come back and remind her of him all the time, so he stayed away. And it was a loving relationship. Rather, I mean, yeah, they're still catty with each other and everything, but in a good way. Right. So I really like their dynamic in this. I like to see how when they're saying goodbye, he's going to argue with her about, something about him coming back, or I can't remember exactly what the wordage is. And he's like, well, I decided not to argue because I knew that I'd never live it down. But what's going to happen. And you're like, yeah. Yeah. So, and the bromance lives on. Oh, yeah. They got to see each other again.
Yes, Finn and Poe reunited at last.
Finn and Poe reunited.
And then Poe has his new jacket and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then Finn gets to keep the jacket. Aww. So yeah, I'm excited to see more of them as well.
I am too. And I like that we got to see Poe go all the way up through the ranks of physical, the base to the actual general.
Yes.
He had earned that. And then he's like, I need you to see Finn. And Finn's like, and she goes, oh no, I know all about you. And exactly. He's like,
I already knew.
Okay. But yeah, so that's all I really have.
Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, again, they were really, really exciting chapters. I've been waiting, well, I would say all week. I know you've been waiting all week. I've been waiting maybe a couple days. I'm telling you, it's an irrational fear. But anyways, so I mean, it's really exciting. I'm really excited to see the rest of it. And we're nearing the end as well.
We have one more show.
So do you want to break the news of our new book? The next one?
It's A New Dawn.
A New Dawn, because Star Wars Rebels is coming soon.
We still
don't have a date, though.
No. And we're hoping that when this because I don't think that Kanan's gonna make it, and A New Dawn is about Kanan. So, well, there's others in there too, but it's mainly Kanan's story. But we are gonna do a JN66 profile on Kanan because I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, definitely. I'm so scared for him. I'm pretty sure though he's not gonna make it. Like, I hate it. But I mean, the trailer alone, the wording, the fallen knight.
Dog.
All good. But I mean, the wording alone with with Hera narrating that, calling him the fallen knight, I think is interesting choice of words. But I don't think he's making it. I think he's going to be one with the Force.
I think that's a totally different show. I have already put my thoughts on that on our website. So.
Hey, that's true. All right, guys. So cool. So next week we'll still have the last few chapters of the Force Awakens.
3. Yeah, that's
3.
The last 3 chapters of Force Awakens.
Oh man, I didn't realize we were that far. Well, it snuck up on us. Thrawn, like, what was it, a month and a half? I think we said something like that. Thrawn was a long time, so it was awesome though. Definitely worth it. So yeah, guys. So join us next week for the Force Awakens, the final chapters of the book. And then after that, we'll start our New Dawn. And guys, you can check us out every single week on Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday is normally our book club. Friday are our huge shows, our one where we have our special guests and things like that. We've got some cool guests coming up here in the future. Did you have anything you wanted to add or anything like that, Heather?
Join our group.
Yes, join our group.
It's Facebook, but we're going to try to see if maybe these live streams would be easier on a platform more people can access.
Yes, because we have a lot of different friends on a lot of different platforms. We got friends on Instagram who can't get to Facebook we can't get to Instagram, and we want to join all of the worlds. Right. in our own republic of sorts. So we definitely want you guys to be able to join. So we are working on that. So definitely stay tuned. And that's going to be on our website, kesselrunweekly.com. We're also looking to start adding articles and things like that. I say that now, so now I have made a public commitment, Heather. It's happening. So definitely check it out there for more stuff all week long from Kessel Run Weekly. And check us out on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, at Kessel Run Weekly. You're already on our Facebook because you're watching this, but still. So cool. Awesome. So do you have anything else, or we good?
I think we're good.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So guys, my name is Danny.
I'm Heather.
And may the Force be with you.